Ladies, we did it.
Yay!
Yay. Okay. Oh my gosh. Well, first of all, cheers to teamwork.
Got
I
my
hope you girls have beverages. And I hope those of you who are watching on my VIP page right now live or catching the replay, I hope that you have a yummy beverage of choice in your hand too, because I am so excited to share with you tonight. I feel so honored to have Allison and Kelly on with us. And this has been something that I've been wanting to share with all of you for a while. And sometimes you just gotta get the guts to go for it. And tonight was the night. So thank you all for hopping on. Please say hi. I want to see who's watching us live so we can interact and you can share my excitement and you can ask questions and you can share your experiences. And if you're catching the replay, the same thing, because you know that one of my biggest things in life is just like the power of girlfriends and the power of these bonds and these friendships that we have and of just like supporting one another, because life is tough and so are you. And I actually feel like a little tougher and better now that CBD and Green Compass are in my life. So I'm going to get how this is going to work is I'm going to share a little bit, and then Kelly and Allison are actually our experts, because I will not pretend to know everything about Green Compass or about CBD. It's really kind of exciting for me to be new at something and to be learning. It's very fulfilling. It's very rewarding. The teacher in me loves kind of the just like nerdy getting into the science of it all. It's really been just kind of fun, and to use my brain and to learn new words has been exciting. But then they're going to share more about just like the opportunity and about more of the background about Green Compass and more details about the product. But I just kind of want to share with you first, because some of you are probably like, this kind of came out from left field. Like, I didn't know that Missy was, trying some new products or partnering with a new brand. So a little background. I would say about 18 months ago, somebody actually reached out to me about this company called Green Compass, and I had no idea about it and was just not interested. I was like, CBD, I was like, isn't that like marijuana and pot? Like, no, like that's not like, do you know me? I'm like a goody two shoes Missy who's like follows the rules. And so I was like, even though like I know it's legal and fine, but I just, in my head, I was like, I know, like I can't do that. I have 3 girls, like no. And really what it was I didn't have the knowledge. I didn't have the background. I didn't have the information, but it also, I think, wasn't the right time. It wasn't something that I needed in my life. And then I'll be honest, you know that I'm always like full of inspiration and positivity and looking on the bright side and finding the gift in the challenge. But totally honest, like I've been struggling. I have been on the struggle bus, and as not just like a mom, but as a like aging woman, I think as a just as a person, like I just kind of felt uncomfortable in my skin. I felt blah. I felt like just down in the dumps, and I was like in this funk. And even Jeff was like, "What is wrong with you? Like what?" And I was like, "I don't know. Is it like hormones? Am I overwhelmed? Like, why can't I manage just stress in life like I used to? I wasn't sleeping. I was gaining weight. Like, I just felt like I'm okay being a hot mess and like a hot mess that's still having fun. But I was like a hot mess who was not happy and just not herself. And it was not fun. And so I started seeing people talking about CBD, and I was curious. And it was one of those things that I thought, like, I just wish there was something I could do or take that could just make me feel better, and just like make me feel myself again, because I like who I am and I just wanted to feel myself. So I think that it is interesting sometimes how things, like you hear about things, but then all of a sudden you're like, wait a second, I remember hearing about that. And I think maybe this is something that maybe I should find out about. So back in October, I actually placed an order for something for the jellies from Green Compass. And I was like, what do I have to lose? I'm going to try it. It's a money back guarantee. I can try it. If it doesn't work, oh well. If it does work, oh my goodness, like that could really change me, change how I am as a mom, how I am as a person and a friend and a wife. So I was like, what do I have to lose? So I took these jellies for a month, and in that month's time, I went from, how I would describe it is like, things would happen and I used to be like, and I would like rise and tense and I'd be like, oh my gosh. And I just like kind of feel like I was gonna, like, excuse my language, but just like lose my shit, like, and just snap or like, and after taking the jellies, I felt like I could be like, oh, okay, I can handle this. Like it gave me room to breathe and to pause and to not react and just like, act how I want to as a mom and a friend and a wife. Um, and I also noticed my sleep was changing because I was always the person that was in the sleepless club from like 3 to 4:30 a.m. and I would just be up and my wheels were spinning, and again it was horrible and I was like tense, and so then I wasn't sleeping, so it was just this vicious cycle. And as I started using these products, I would realize Jeff snoring wasn't waking me up anymore. Or if it did, I could fall right back to sleep. I wasn't like wide awake. And I mean, this is like silly things, but like Jeff gets up to go to the bathroom in the middle of the night. And again, like I wouldn't wake up from that. Or if I did, I would fall back asleep. And I just was getting restful sleep. And so my body was feeling better. Like sleep is such a basic need that we all need. And it just, a rested human shows up as they're a better version of themselves every day. So that was just incredible for me. And then I started trying some other products, and it's just one of those things that everything that I've tried, I'm like, that reduced cream, like, oh my gosh, my aching back from either getting older or from old gymnastics injuries or field hockey or whatever it is, like that is helping. And I started taking the collagen, and that, like, I have a really bad neck from old injuries, and it's like doesn't feel as like rusty and achy. And it just was something that I so believe in. It's something that I would never suggest a product to anybody that I wouldn't like put my name on it and be like, tell everybody that I'm the one that said, like, try this, because I think it could help you too. And my whole like kind of just life mission is to really leave any person that I come in contact with a little bit better. And so I love doing that with style. I love doing that with skincare. And I just felt like this was something that now, like, I'm going to be 47. As we get older, it's something that I know if I need it, I know that a lot of other women and men and kids and grandparents, and I mean, that's what's great, is it's great for all ages and men and women and dogs and everything. They might need it too. And I kind of feel like like this opportunity was kind of put in my lap because I already have such amazing relationships with so many women all across the country, that if I could help different women to feel better and to show up, better in this world, that I could really continue to make a bigger impact. And no one needs to be suffering alone. And that's what I think, like, especially with motherhood. When the kids were little, we had play groups and we talked about things and we vented and complained. But now it's like with teens, like, we're all so busy, and we don't need to, A, we don't need to suffer alone. B, there are things that help. And C, like, let's talk about it. Let's like share our struggles and help each other to get through them. Because again, like, I feel like this is something that can bring women together and can just like strengthen our sisterhood, and just the way that, it takes a village in life, and like, let's like bring this to our village. So that kind of in a nutshell is, you know, is my reason for trying these products and for wanting to share them. Because I just feel like when you find something that's so helpful and tastes good and so easy to use and to see the benefits, like, why wouldn't you share it loud and proud, with everybody you know?
Oh, I love your story so much, Missy. That's amazing. And it's one that I've heard from so many people, men and women and children, for the past, 8 or 9 months, since I started taking or sharing Green Compass as well. So it's actually super, super common. And if you look at what's happened over the last couple of years, because I do think it's, partly a little bit, stage of our life and that sort of thing. But I think really we've all been through the ringer these last few years, with pandemic and COVID and everything else. And I was the exact same as you. I was one who've always been super laid back. Like my friends were always the ones saying like, oh my gosh, nothing bothers you ever. Like you never get worked up. And I was waking up feeling like I had a weight on my chest. My mind was racing all night long. And I saw my kids struggling as well. And I'm hoping, and this is where the CBD is going to be helpful. It's just that internet unstable. We have a huge storm rolling through here in Richmond, Virginia right now. So if for some reason we get knocked off, we'll pop right back on again. So y'all bear with us. It's literally the first summer storm all season.
We keep having them every morning. I wake up to them. So you're getting them at night. It'll come to us tomorrow morning.
Yeah, this is the first one. Hopefully the internet holds. But I just really noticed everybody struggling. And for those of you, hi, I'm Kelly. I'm Kelly Cox Missy, and I've been friends for years. And I'm so happy to kind of share a little bit about these products and what they can really do for you. And if you know a little bit about my background, I won't go too much into it, but my life, my previous life, I was a college professor of my PhD in psychology. And so really watching how people reacted to the pandemic and even after the effects, even though we're still kind of in it. It's one of those things sometimes that we were just like all trudging through, and now we're really seeing everything, all of that like low level fear that was with us for the last several years is really gonna start playing out in our sleep and in our inflammation. So I'll go a little bit really quickly over how CBD works. So Missy touched on it briefly. It's not marijuana. I was the same way. That's definitely kept me from even looking at it for a year, because I'm like, I've got teenage boys. I can't do anything related to marijuana. But it's not. It's two totally different plants. So you've got the hemp plant and you've got the marijuana plant, and they're two different plants. The marijuana plant is what has THC in it. THC is what gets you high. The marijuana plant, the hemp plant has CBD in it, which is simply plant-based wellness. So there's two totally different plants. And if you look at, Missy talked about the fact that we have this endocannabinoid system, and I won't go too much into the science of it, but what I will tell you is that we have this endocannabinoid system. And if you think of it like Christmas tree lights, I think it's kind of the easiest way for me to understand it. All these things are related. So our stress levels have obviously been way up. And what comes with that? Our sleep goes down, our inflammation goes up, our feeling anxious goes up, our focus goes down. Those things are all interrelated. Pain, inflammation, they're all part of this endocannabinoid system. So what happens is when one light goes out, they all go out. So all CBD does is simply goes to those receptors and just puts your body back into balance. So that's as easy as you can explain it. So it's not a drug. It's all natural. This is from a plant, which is one reason you really see the medical community starting to embrace CBD. If you look at the research, the medical community, it's all about recommending CBD to their patients. And the research is really going in that direction because so many people are hooked on medicines right now. So many people are dealing with drug interactions, and my husband works with pain doctors, and so many of his patients are addicted to opioids. And so there are all these things that people are dealing with. And if they can find relief, if we can find relief from a plant rather than a pharmaceutical, the medical community is all for that. So it's been really fun to watch. And if you think about the timing of this industry right now, we're all just still learning about it, right? So it's about a $5 billion industry right now. They're projecting it to be a $47 billion industry in the next 2 years. And what does that mean? It means that right now we're in these beginning stages of just learning about it. In a few years, everybody's going to know about it. Everyone's going to be using it because it is such a safe, healthy alternative that can help us with things like feeling anxious and with pain and with inflammation and with sleep. All the things we're all dealing with, including our children. So I'm going to talk a little bit about specific products that can help with those things. But, a couple of things you want to keep in mind with CBD. So One is that all CBD is not created equal. It's such a new thing, which is great. It's new, but it's also completely unregulated right now. So the market right now, you could go out and buy CBD off of a shelf and it could be olive oil. And Dr. Oz actually did a special where he tested a bunch of random products that he got, in, both health food stores and all over. Like several were olive oil, had zero CBD in them. There were some that had E. coli in them. Very few had actual good quality CBD in there. So because it's so unregulated right now, you really want to know where your CBD is coming from. And about 80% of CBD in the US right now comes from China. And China uses the hemp plant as a scavenger plant to clean their environment. So some call it a mop crop, some call it a scavenger plant. Basically, hemp absorbs everything in the soil and everything in the air around it. So if you're not getting your CBD from USDA certified organic hemp, then it's likely very full of toxins. So one thing with Green Compass that I love right from the beginning is this little QR code on the bottom. So this QR code, it comes on every single one of our products. You can scan it with your phone and it's going to give you a third-party independent lab report showing exactly the quality you're getting, where it's grown, how much CBD is in there. So we have total transparency and you're getting a really good product. So if you look a little bit about the history of the company, it's kind of cool. We have 5 owners that work together. They all live in Wilmington, North Carolina. And the story starts with Meredith, our amazing president. She was dealing with some baby blues after one of her children. And her brother, who was a marathon runner, said, you should really try CBD for that. And she was like, what are you talking about? And so anyway, she tried it. It worked. But she's one of those like super, super, super clean moms who is bringing grilled homemade nuggets to her child on the playground. Like everything is going to be pure and good. And she started looking into CBD and where it came from and how it was made and how it was grown. And she was like, I would never give my children this. So her husband at the time was a CEO in the agricultural industry and worked with these 2 brothers who were 6th generation organic sweet potato farmers out of Wilmington, North Carolina. And they had worked together for years and years. This was right around the time the Farm Bill was going to pass. She had just had these incredible results that had totally changed the quality of her life. And they partnered together, her brother, the couple, Meredith and Sterling Cook, and the Wooten brothers. So they formed this company, Green Compass. And originally they were going to sell their CBD to doctors' offices. That was the plan. We're going to have USDA certified organic. We're going to do everything the right way. And what they found is it's such a personal topic. Missy just talked about her story and she shared her struggles. That's often what happens when we're dealing with these things. We're often talking about it to one of our girlfriends, or we're talking about it with our parents, or we're talking about it with our children. It's something that really passes by word of mouth, and it's such a personal thing that they found that the products were spreading so much faster from person to person rather than a doctor's office, because we don't necessarily want to go up to somebody at a counter in a hemp store or at a pharmacy or even in your doctor's office at the front desk and say, try to understand what CBD is and how it can work for you. So they just changed their model and it became something that has just grown so fast. And for me, it's just been so fulfilling seeing people's testimonials, my personal, customers' testimonials and what it's done for them. So Green Compass is out of Wilmington, North Carolina. Again, 6th generation organic farms. So you're getting USDA certified organic. It's a really hard notation to get. And it's something that's going to be good for you and it's not going to have side effects and it's from a plant and it's something that everyone in your family can use. Because if you look at our kids are among the most struggling right now. If you look at, I've got a college student and 2 high schoolers, every single one of them take that nano jelly that Missy talked about every single day. And it has kept them calm and focused. And I have so many friends whose kids were feeling anxious as well. And it's been a game changer for them. So a couple of important things to know about CBD. CBD can legally have up to 0.3% THC in it. So if you remember, THC is that thing that's in the marijuana plant. 0.3% is a very trace amount. It can absolutely not get you high, but it can have that 0.3%. Now, we have products that are completely THC free. So our nano jellies are one of them. Our broad spectrum oil is another. So anyone can take that. Your kids can take that every single day and we'll help you figure out the exact right dose. A lot of smaller children, we do a quarter and then a half for, elementary school, middle school age children, and then a full for, an older child. But we can help you figure that out. But it is, my 17-year-old came home and told me, he's like, Mom, I literally put my head down to write a paper and I didn't look up. I did not look up for like the entire 2 hours that he was writing the paper. And he's one whose mind is normally all over the place. So the nano jellies are amazing. And so I'm going to go through quickly a couple of different products, and I'll talk a little bit more about the company while I'm talking, but those are our nano jellies. They come in 2 different flavors. Limoncello is by far the most popular. You don't need to put them in your fridge, but they taste even better when you put in your fridge. And if you look at something that really sets our nano jellies apart, is we have this really cool technology. It's our nanotechnology. And it is basically what they do is they take CBD, they shrink it down, and they put a water droplet around it. One of the biggest things anytime you have a gummy or a jelly of any kind is the absorption rate. The typical gummy on the market only has about a 5 to 20% absorption rate. So most of it's just going right through you. I immediately, when I found that out, stopped giving my kids gummy vitamins. So I was like, well, what a waste, 5%, that's nothing. They're not getting any of the vitamin in them. So with this nanotechnology, we actually have a 94% absorption rate. So that right there is huge, because if you're taking this and you're paying for this product, you want to make sure you're getting it in your system and it's not going right through you. Our nano jellies are kind of foolproof. They're great because you can take it when you're running out the door. I love these in the morning, especially. And these, of course, are CBD. They are THC free. So, but it's foolproof. You can't mess these up. You just pop them in your mouth, run out the door, and go on with your day. So every single person in my family takes this every single day, which is great. And again, CBD is going to help you with inflammation, sleep, focus, calm, pain, all of these things. So this is our #1 bestseller by far. I kind of describe it as, it's funny, I have a friend whose daughter got in a car accident a couple weeks ago, and she had been taking the jellies for about 2 weeks. And she said normally, she'd only driven like 3 times, her daughter. And she said, normally I would have lost it. She's like, normally I would have been a total mess. And she goes, and I just was like, is everybody safe? Okay, good. We're fine. Everyone's safe. And she said the next day she woke up and she's like, I had the biggest epiphany. It was the nano jelly. She's like, I normally would have been like tossing and turning all night. I would have been a total stress case. I probably would have screamed at her. And like, she's like, and I was just so calm and cool and collected. And that's kind of what it is. I kind of describe it as having like bubble wrap around you. You are more focused, because what happens with CBD, remember, again, it's not a medicine. So it's not going to make you tired at night. It's not going to make you feel anything. It's going to make your mind stop racing. So the thing that keeps us up at night is not that we're not tired. We're exhausted. But it's the racing mind. It's the reason why when Missy's husband's snoring wakes her up, she can't get back to sleep because her mind starts racing. That's the same thing that keeps us from focusing during the day. When we sit down and we're at our computer and we're trying to work, we can't focus because our mind's racing and saying all these other things coming at us, and we can't focus on what we're doing. It's all the reason we have that weight on our chest, because our mind's constantly racing with all the things we have to do. So CBD is simply putting your body back into homeostasis. So these I love. You can take these day and night, but I personally use them in the morning because they're kind of foolproof and they're just easy. And I keep them in my fridge. As we're eating breakfast, we all pop one and take one. Our second,
I'll jump in and say that's I started taking them just in the morning, and then I was taking them morning and night, and then I just loved it so much. I was like, I should try some other products, and so then I switched. And I think this is what you do too. That I switched. I take one in the morning, and then I do one of the tinctures at night, and I will tell you too, like, I look forward to that jelly, just like the taste in the morning. It's like the lemon, it's like refreshing, and I don't know.
It's a treat. It's so literally fun. Like having a treat.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, totally. Okay, I love that. And so what she was about to say is that at night she switched over to the oils. So CBD is CBD, whether you get it through a nano jelly, whether you get it through one of our tinctures. A tincture is just a dropper. And this is kind of the more traditional CBD oil, which is great. And I have in my little kit, I'm going to show you my kit over here in a second. That kind of is a great way you can get a lot of bang for your buck. But these are oils. Oils can come in either full spectrum or broad spectrum. Now, the full spectrum can have that trace amount of THC in it. Again, certainly not enough to ever get you high, but anyone dealing with significant sleep issues or significant pain issues, I definitely recommend going for the full spectrum oil. Because remember, the jellies are THC free. So sleep or pain, if that's your issue, you're going to want to go for this. And we can help you find your correct dosing for you. Comes in lots of good flavors. Cinnamon and mint are my favorite. My husband and I are sleeping like babies. It's like the best. Memorial Day weekend, I forgot my tincture and we were at the beach and I was awake all weekend long. Like I had the worst night's sleep. I just got back from vacation with my husband and I had it with me and I slept like a baby every night. So with the tinctures, you simply put them under your tongue. So again, we talked about absorption rate earlier. When it's an oil, you have to let it absorb sublingually, which is another reason I like it at night. You're not in as much of a rush. I think because you need to leave it under your tongue for 90 seconds. You let it absorb and then you swallow the rest down. But that 90 seconds is super important because you have to absorb it sublingually to get that oil into your body. But you can also get it in a broad spectrum. So this is an example of the broad spectrum. That is the orange. It's like a creamsicle. It's like orange vanilla flavor. And then I also have one for dogs. So it's so funny. When the storm started, my dog started going crazy and we have CBD treats as well in there. And I was like, I could just hear the dogs going nuts while I was on this call. And I was like, go give them CBD treats. And like, they're literally quiet as mice right now. So they work great. Whether you give it to your dog in the bacon flavor through the oil or the CBD treats, they're awesome. Okay, so our number 2 bestseller behind the Nano Jelly, and my husband's personal favorite and my dad's personal favorite, is our Reduced Pain Cream. You guys, this pain cream is insanely good. We are actually FDA approved. So there's things like Icy Hots just mask the pain. We are actually FDA approved for pain relief with this Reduced Pain Cream. This is going to be good for somebody who's got inflammation and in pain in specific areas. So my dad uses it for his bad back. He slipped a disc years ago and he's a big golfer. He literally orders 2 of these every single month. He goes through so much of it. He loves it. All his golfing friends have been calling me and ordering this as well. My sister uses it for her tennis elbow. My mom has actually got psoriasis and she has a lot of inflammation around her hairlines and really all over her body. She's done as much extreme, like she's done chemo for her condition and she said this is the best thing she's ever used. So this really helps get the inflammation down as well. So, and it works almost immediately. We actually have a Father's Day bundle that Missy can post about with you guys that goes till Sunday, where you get the pain cream and then you get the pain boost and then you also get one of the essential oils, and it comes in this really cute little package. So if you guys ordered that today, you should be able to get it in time for Father's Day. What's today? Thursday? It'll come around that time. You can always show up a picture if it didn't come in time. But the deal goes through Sunday. So the Reduced Pain Cream is amazing. And then a couple of other quick ones. I won't show you everything, but the newest thing that's out, these digestive health jellies. You guys, I swear to God, I think I've lost 8 pounds since I started taking them 3 weeks ago.
I wanted to ask you about that too, because I had a friend who was like, have you lost weight? And I was like, no. And then she was like, no, you look a lot different, which I was like, thank you. That's what I'm like, that's what it is. It's
digestive health jellies. And honestly, I was shocked by that because when we talked about it, it's for digestive health, which plays a part in so many. Having good gut health is so important for things like depression and anxiety, and all these different things play a part in gut health. There's actually so much cool research on gut health out there. But I honestly was taking it for just good gut health. And I was like, my bloating has gone completely down. My appetite is not nearly what it normally is. It's been crazy. And these taste really good too. And you can keep them in your fridge. And a lot of people like to use it in conjunction with our metabolism boost. So you can actually buy these 2 as a bundle. And the boost comes in one of our kits that I'll show you guys in just a minute. But yeah, so those are amazing. And then our other major thing right now is our collagen. You guys, this collagen is awesome. It comes in unflavored, but my favorite is the fresh melon flavor. Really good for your hair, for your nails, for your joints. But we have the only collagen on the market that has CBG in it. So there are lots of different cannabinoids found in the hemp plant. And everything we have is coming from the hemp plant. So you know that you're getting a lot of really good plant-based wellness in everything you use. So this one is our collagen, and it's fresh melon flavor. So it's got the CBG is kind of the anti-aging cannabinoid. So it's really going to help you with, I've noticed a big difference in crow's feet and my neck area. The before and afters for this are amazing. So let me show you guys really quickly, and then I'm going to open it up for questions. And Missy, looks like Missy must have gotten disconnected, so I'm sure she'll be back in a second. But there's a couple of different ways you guys can shop. So Missy's got a $10 off coupon for each one of you, so you want to make sure you use her friend share code when you shop, so you get that $10 off. But we also have a couple of different kits. So if you have at least 2 or more products that you love, then the kit is a good way to go. This is actually the large kit. So it's $4.99, but you get about $1,200 in free product to try. And then you can kind of, spread it out throughout your family. Everyone can try a little bit of everything and kind of figure out what you love. And then you can just shop with yourself. Let me admit Missy back in. Okay, I think she's coming. Okay, gotcha. Perfect. I was just going through the kit with everybody. Can you hear us okay?
I got kicked off. I'm sorry, but I'm back.
Okay, good. Perfect. Okay, so this is the large kit. There's also a medium kit. So if you're like, okay, I need the nano jellies, the pain cream, the full spectrum oil for sleep, and we also have our awesome peel pads, you guys. These are really, really good for, inflammation in your face, which is a lot of what leads to aging. We have these alpha hydroxy pads that are awesome as well that come in the kit. But there's a couple of different things. So we've got the kit you can get to enjoy the discount and get the big discount on products, but also you guys, business opportunity wise, and I know many of you on here are probably curious about that and exactly why a lot of us have switched over. And so I'll share really quickly 3 reasons I partnered with Green Compass. One, I've been in this industry for 13 years. So I left being a college professor years and years ago when my boys were little, and I helped build another company from the ground up, build a huge team of women. And what I found is one of the reasons I looked at Green Compass was during the pandemic, it was really for me, like I just saw so many people suffering. And so when I found something that people really needed right now versus something they just wanted, but something they really truly needed right now, and I saw that it could actually change the quality of someone's life, like that was a very big deal to me. Like I think it was like to look at people and see so many struggling, including ourselves and our friends and our family. I think that was number one. I was so happy that I found something that was good for you, that was a need. The second reason is that CBD space. I talked a little bit about what's happening in the CBD industry right now. And if you follow business and you've been following Forbes and everybody else, it's definitely the hot thing out there right now. The CBD, what you see is it's right now, it's about a $5 billion industry, and it's projected to become, it was going to be $25 billion industry. Now they're saying a $47 billion industry. So it is, and a lot of this has come from the research that's recently come out showing all of the medical benefits. Definitely Google CBD and look at, there's so many amazing things that this can help with outside of even things that I talked about. So we all know in this industry, timing is everything. Timing is super, super important. And right now, everything is going to build from us because we're still at that very beginning education phase. So this is a really smart time to kind of get involved, partner with us. It is wide open all over the country. And we are looking for leaders in every single state. So we would love to help partner with you. But the third reason, and honestly, like one of the really exciting things is I mentioned earlier that we're a vertically integrated company, which means that we own everything from the farms to the labs where everything is extracted to everything being delivered out. So we have no middlemen at all, which means that it's a very, very rich comp plan. It is the best comp plan I have seen in this industry. So if you put those things together, a product that people really, really need, along with timing of the industry, which we all know how important timing is. It's really, we're going to see explosive growth over the next 2 years. So it's a very good time. And then the third is a really rich paying comp plan. We all know how important that is. It's just a really smart move. So whether you get the kit to enjoy the wonderful discount, it's about a 65% price break. There's a medium kit and a large kit. The medium kit's $299 and you get about $650 in product. You can just get it, try it. That's a good way for you to, oh, there's her medium kit. Oh, look how pretty it is. You kept it all together. That looks great. So it's a good way for you, if you want at least 2 products, it's a really good way to try everything, figure out what you love, and then you can just shop with yourself. But you'll also have this very easy to share link, like the one Missy's going to share with you. And you're going to have people in your life that need this too. You're going to talk to your mom, you're going to talk to your sister, or you're going to talk to your neighbors. And they're going to be going through the exact same thing that you're struggling with. So you might as well have a link that you can share with them. It'll give them $10 off, and it's going to give you a $10 product credit. And then of course you earn commission as well. Or you can come at it from the business angle and be like, yeah, this sounds fun. It's something you can share in so many different ways. It's definitely something you're going to be sharing one-on-one, because that's how a lot of these conversations happen. But you can also do a sip and CBD at your house and get a few girlfriends around the table. You can also use social media. There's a lot of ways to share this. And like I said, it's just a really, really good comp plan. So you'll be sharing something that you're going to feel really good about, but also you can definitely earn a great income with it. So I would love, are there questions coming in the group? What questions?
Now I had to go on my phone. So I don't know why I got kicked off on my laptop is showing no service. So you're the one having storms, but I'm having internet issues.
Okay, here, I'm going to look real quick on the page and see if I see anything.
So, and I mean, I'll share. So what I did was, so back in October, I started with jellies and just, like I said, fell in love with that. And then I switched to the tincture, and I started with the 500 broad spectrum, and now I'm up to the 750, but I haven't tried the full spectrum yet because I feel good with what I'm using. And it was just one of those things that I wanted to try the cream. I wanted to try the collagen. I wanted to try the digestive jelly. So, and I was like, you know what, it's just silly not to get the kit, because it was just a better value and a way for me to try more things. And it also was just one of those things, like, I felt like, I remember like when I started with, like, I am still doing Stella and love it. And am so excited to be that girl that's like, and like, you can do many things. And, you know, I'm substitute teaching. And what I'm realizing is, like, women need different things in their lives and different streams of income and different streams of support. And, you know, I see through subbing, I see like teachers who are struggling and who are on medication, or just, you know, and I think like, wow, this is something that could really help that community. Or it's moms of my kids' friends who were all like, oh my gosh, prom was so expensive, and college, like, you know, people who financially are doing like well, but yet are also like, I need this extra income to not only pay for my daughter's college, but to go visit her, and, you know, all these things. And so I think for me, it was one of those things that I had this excited feeling in my belly of like, this is something that can help people and is like something with a purpose where you can make an impact. And I just thought to myself, like, I gotta put like fears aside of being new or not really, I don't know, you know, I don't have all the knowledge yet. I just know my experience and how it's worked. And I just thought, sometimes you just gotta follow your gut and go for it. And I know over the years, so many women have been like, you know, I wish I had started when you started. And so I just felt like this is an opportunity to be like, start with me, like, do this, like, let's do this together. And it's a bond that you can have with other women, and, you know, to just like link arms and make an impact together too. So.
Yes, I totally agree. And it is fun. It's fun building something from the beginning, from scratch, all together. And that's definitely what we're doing right now. We've got an awesome dream team, and we would love to chat with you more about that if you want to know exactly how to get started and what it means. And you can obviously do whatever you want with it, but it's a pretty simple share. It's really just the number one thing I ask somebody is if they're talking about, you know, if I'm on a girls' night and people are talking about different things they're dealing with, is to say, have you tried CBD for that? Like, it's such a simple conversation starter. And most people are like, no, CBD works for that. I didn't know that. And then you just talk about it. But it's funny because you really don't have to know all the science. Like, before you know it, it's actually, you'll hear it like 3 or 4 times and you'll be like, oh, okay, yep, that totally makes sense. But we have so many awesome tools to share this as well. So it's something that you can very easily, you know, we have a cool video for anything. So if people are like, you know, if you had your own link and somebody's like, how do the nano jellies work? Be like, oh, I'll shoot you a video. So that makes it really fun and easy too. You certainly don't have to be a scientist to do this. But it is really exciting being on the forefront and being the person that goes out and kind of educates people about it and how it works. And when you start getting the testimonials rolling in from your customers about, oh my gosh, I've slept for the first time in so long, or someone with, you know, inflammation in their hand from like arthritis, they can open their hand again. Or someone who, my friend Kiana is an actress, and she just finished this long play, and she said she literally told her husband, like, get me a wheelchair to get off the stage because my knees are shot. And she had a little sip and CBD at her house, and she like was showing all her friends how she could do lunges. She was like, I could barely walk 2 weeks ago. And she's like, the pain cream, the combination of the 1,000 full spectrum oil and the pain cream, and she felt like a new person. So I think we all are dealing with a lot of these issues. The husbands, you guys, pain cream, like pain cream. So like, let's say you got a kit, you want the jellies for yourself, your husband wants the pain cream, you're both going to use the sleep. You can give your, your daughter the peel pads, whatever it is. The kits are a very smart way to go because you get so much bang for your buck. But the other way you can shop is as a preferred customer. So preferred customer is a really, really good way to get a 20% discount. And that just means you have an auto ship set up, super easy to edit or cancel or postpone. But definitely shop at least as a preferred customer if you're not going to purchase a kit, because that 20% is pretty significant. So it is, when you go to her link, you'll just click that you want to be a preferred customer, like on each item, and you'll get that 20% discount. And like I said, it's super easy. You're going to get a notification when something's going to come. You can say, nope, not ready for it yet. You can cancel it. You can postpone it, whatever you need to do. But that's definitely a very smart way to shop. It's good. It's
like added things, and I was the person that I forget what I had tried something, and then I did, the tincture, and I didn't have it on. I thought that I had on auto ship, and I didn't. And then I ran out, and I was like, oh no, I was like, I'll never run out again. I always need like a backup too. And, but it's something that, cause I stopped because I know what it was. It was the collagen and the tincture. So for like a week I didn't have them, and I noticed a difference not having it, because it's like hydration. Like it's something that you need to do consistently. And when it's in your body, like things are in balance and it's just like smooth sailing. And then when it starts to get depleted, like I started feeling things again. And it actually was like a great experience to be like, this does really work. And when I don't have it, when you're not like, with hydration, like when you feel that you're dehydrated, you can't just like quick chug water. Like it needs to get back in your system, and you need to get into that state of balance. So
totally. And I always say that it's when you really notice it is because it's not a drug. Again, it's not like having a glass of wine or a cocktail that you have like a feeling come over you. CBD is putting you into balance. And so it's what you've noticed, and you have to pay attention to it, is the lack of the negative stuff, the lack of the racing mind, the lack of the feeling of a weight on your chest, that sort of thing. And so when you're right, when you don't use it, that's when you notice it the most, because you're like, oh my gosh, I actually didn't take the tincture last night and I had an awful night's sleep. And when I take it, I have a good night's sleep. So it's, it's pretty cool the way it works. But yeah, it's definitely been game changers for a lot of people. And I think that it's like worth trying. I think it's, how we feel is so important. Feeling good, I think, is probably the most important thing. And I think mental health is such a serious thing right now that a lot of us are struggling with, and a lot of our children are struggling with. And I think that anything that can help people just feel calm and feel good and feel good going through their day, I think is pretty huge.
Yeah. And we were laughing because we said we were having some technical difficulties between the storm, and we were saying, like, last year at this time, if I was on a Zoom and it wasn't working, I'd be like, oh my God, like I would be so frazzled. And I was like, it's fine. Like people will wait. Like they'll see it. It's like, this is not a big deal, So I do like, it's just like powerful when you have those moments where you're like, oh, this is like part of the best version of me that I can just, handle whatever's thrown at me. So I'm like
much nicer moms, right? Like our kids get a much less snappy mom. I mean, especially dealing with teenagers. I mean, I think small children, I don't know which one's harder, but dealing with teenagers, like I just don't lose it. Like I just talk calmly, stay calm, not overreact with things. Like that's definitely a good perk.
Yeah. So, and I just have to say thank you to you, Kelly, for spending time with us tonight, and Allison for just all your help too. These are two women that I have known for like 13 years and have just admired their leadership and their friendship. And I'm so excited to be working together, still. And it's, just, you're such an inspiration. And I just am so grateful for the time that you've taken and the help that you've given me, and that I can, continue to help other. So.
Yes. Oh my gosh. I totally agree. Right back at you. Definitely have always admired you, and so excited to build this together.
Yes.
Allison might be trying to talk. Allison, do you say?
Yes, absolutely. The feeling is so very mutual, and just excited to link arms with you and do this.
Yeah. And we're in all different states. So I'm in PA, Kelly's in Virginia, and Allison's out in California. And so it just, goes to show, like, it doesn't matter where you live, we can all do this together. So I'm really excited just to keep the conversations going that I've started already with so many of you, and to, just share more and more, and to just, like I said, I just really feel so passionate about helping women to just feel good and show up in this world as their best version of themselves. And so I've just been so excited to share Green Compass and these products with you. So thank you all for tuning in, and everybody can get back to their beverage.
Get back to your cocktail. I think I'm going to go watch. Have you guys seen the Downton Abbey, the new era or whatever, the one that was just in the movie theaters?
No.
Okay, well, so it was the Downton Abbey. It's like the second movie they've done, and it was in theaters, but I didn't get to go to it before it went out of theaters. And so I think I'm going to go rent that now, have like my little cocktail and watch Downton Abbey.
That sounds like a plan. I'll probably go watch like some Disney movie with Lucy, but that's all good, because I'll be calm even if it's some, like, 11-year-old, not very funny movie.
So fun.
So, but thanks again, and cheers to everybody who tuned in or caught the replay. Thanks for listening.
Yeah, and we're happy to carry this conversation offline too. So start a group message with Kelly Sears Cox on Facebook with Missy and Allison and I, and we can answer, or you can ask in the thread so other people can kind of see your questions as well. But you're welcome to take it private as well, and we'd love to help you. She's going to have that link for you. So use that link whether you're going to join and get a kit or whether you are going to shop. But definitely let us know specifically what you're trying to target, and we can help you find out exactly what you need.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you, ladies.
Everyone have a great night.
Bye.
Bye-bye.